Hey everyone, I'm back and I thought I'd come up with a slightly different subject. Gene Colan, classic Marvel artist, DC artist, his humor work. He did a lot of humor work for mostly Marvel. It was in the Pages Not Brand Deck, which lasted 13 issues, although issue 10 was a reprint. And Marie Severin did the heavy lifting on most of the stories, but Stan, Roy, Gary, Marie, Jack Kirby, Gene Colan, Tom Sutton were the main contributors. There were other contributors like Don Heck who did a great job, but I'm going to focus on Gene the Dean Colan. So his first appearance on Off-Brand Deck is issue 4. Marie Severin, just a genius. I love the frozen food in his body. That's not easy to pull off. So we go to the first salvo in Gene the Dean's humor. And first salvo, I can't think of a good comparison, but you know what I'm saying. I can't think of a good analogy. Matt Murdock is, as usual in the comics, he's bumming out because he's blind. He doesn't want to upset her. She's afraid. He's too handicapped. Karen Page, both Matt and Foggy Nelson, or Hoggy and Splat, are vying for her. And she's always been like the shadow over them. So, only one thing to do. I'll quit the superhero bit and go legit. He goes, I gotta get through these phony specs. I never know where I put them anyway. Crash. An old radio show, I'm talking way back before TV was a thing, called Fibber McGee and Molly, I think it was. And the constant joke was opening the closet and things would fall in. That was sort of like the punchline. So he's trying to find, a villain that will defeat him so he can expose himself as Matt Murdock. Hello, Electrico, this is Scaredevil. Well, I can't complain. What's new with you? And he's like, you'll be right. She lets out a sneeze. I love how the phone goes around, and Gene Colan is such a master of expression of the human form, and to see him go even further to do the human form in such an absurd fashion is just a real treat. Let's get closer on that. I think that's good. Okay. So he goes after Electrico, and he's got no feet, no boots. I don't know why. High voltage, that's a pun, son. Don't you hear us ever use the door? That was my last window. I'm here to quit. Yeah, right. Get lost, bum. And he thinks he's been set up. He's like, come on, take off my mask, call me nasty names. He goes, okay, I give up. All I want is a nice quiet defeat. No, I wasn't born yesterday. I love that pose. That is wonderful. So he's like, I'll take my mask off. How about letting me do it for you? Forget it. I'm sitting up here with my eyes closed. It won't work. And I'll tell you who I am. I won't listen. Here's no trick. I'll prove it. I'll tie myself my own mat with my own cable so he gets tossed out. This is a dirty pull, sir. And he straightens. Love that pose too. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say, Stan baby. He's going around for 10 years. Nobody will unmask me. I'll just have to unmask myself. A lot can happen in 10 years. So he lost all his hair. So, I mean, it's silly, but when you're like 7 or 8 or 9, it's hilarious. And it's so, the artwork is what sells it. This is inked by John Taglioni, who inked him on Daredevil. And Colan could always do like 2 books a month and always look sensational. Now, this is when they revived Captain America, as in Avengers number 4. And I just love it. And he's got those, what do you call, instead of the straps on his costume, they're like, what do they call those pants? The kind Larry King wears. Okay, suspenders. So they pick up Captain America. Hark, look yonder. What's that? That's Coney Island, you dope. No, not that far yonder. I mean, over there on panel right. Just stop yakking and give me a hand already. Just because I'm not as popular as you two is no reason why I got to do all the work around here. So, Iron Man, and Mighty Thor, consoling themselves, are all excited. Shut up and help me put him down the hatch, Iron Man. Always giving orders. One of these days, pow, right in the old antenna. And Gene's just going crazy with this. He's having so much fun. Look how nutty those faces are. He's like dink, flicking off some ice. Whoop. Did I skip something? Yeah. Well, he's like, how do we know you are Chaplin America or Charlie in America, whichever they calls him? He dodged, hit Iron Man with the bash. My name's Giant Sam. You can call me Giant for short. But right there, pal. I'm beginning to think you guys are hostile to me. The shoes are still there. It's flying in the air upside down, holding onto the suspenders. It's just so fun. Look at that, amazing. He knows his anatomy. He knows how to skew it. He knows how to bend it. He knows how to tweak it for humor. I don't remember him doing humor before. Maybe Clifford Meth could figure it out. But it's a total joy. They're underneath. They got smashed through the side of the submarine, and they see submariner or sunk mariner, excuse me. And it's like, do you believe I'm Charlie America? How should I know? Besides, don't you know it's impossible to talk underwater? Fun stuff like that. Gets out, poked in the eye. He heads back, and he sees a protest march, and they're blaring. What are you guys protesting? We're out to abolish noise in the city. Clang, clang, clang. Should have guessed. And all the traffic. There's war, crime, poverty. One thing to do. This is more like it. I wonder why they thought I was trapped in a block of ice without ever living end. Such beautiful stuff. There's some more Marie Severin with her incredible gift for cartooning. Okay, we got this Forbush. This is when, this is around the time where there was only like 3 or 4 members of the Avengers, and Black Panther just joined. So, John Tartaglione is on the ink skin, and it's just so cool. Dang shows up instead of Kang, and it's like supposed to be a curse word, and it's so cute. He takes off, his teeth are still there. He grabs it, and it's just tremendous joy to see him do this kind of stuff. And Forbush Man accidentally knocks the wall over that they'd fixed. And Hawkeye impatiently makes an arrow out of him. Hawkeye, stop! Puts me in mind a little bit of Megaton Man years later. I'm sure there's no I'm sure there's no comparison or anything. So shoots him, and they decide to go into battle with Dang. And don't worry, Forby, we'll be right behind. We'll be behind you. Yeah, way behind you. So Dang smacks him in the head, sends him in a time. What strange bird falls from sky? Knock it off with the me Tarzan, you Jane type dialogue. Furred, ain't you got no couth? It goes back to Alley-Oop from the Flintstones. They're all after him. He shows up again. They say, oh, well, we'll return Kang to his time. Whoosh. Oh, no. It's like, I forgot to tell them that they were set for eternity. The system, the controls were set. No, there's not anymore. He takes off. Very Howard the Duck. Later on, he would do a lot of kind of cool backlights like that. And this, you'll find all of these. Actually, before the Not Brand deck came out, the issues of Daredevil, issues of Captain Marvel, the original Marvel version, and other were worked on by Corey Settlemeyer, who goes back and gets all the line work perfected, and it's like a gold standard for repro from early books. Well, this was in the Captain Marvel one, and a lot of these, so by the time they did this Not Brand deck, they had like half the book kind of already touched up, so it didn't really cost them anything. And it was something that Marvel Masterwork fans are very, there's not a lot of us, like under 1,000, and Marvel really listens to us and gives us a lot of that stuff. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but it's just fun visuals. Frank Giacoya's inking it this time. He's a treat. Grabs a sack, changes into Water Lawsuit instead of Walter Lawson, which was, you know what, I'd rather have him that name because he was such a god-awful secret identity. It just made no sense. He's got that Beatles fright wig, as they called it back then. The Sentry shows up. He goes up to his phone booth at the top of the hill. Can't get this Must be, get the door open. Must be that 2-foot long thumb that's holding the door shut. 10-foot long thumb? It's the sentry. He walks away with the phone box around him. Telephone booth, I mean. Whoop. I just love it so much. That's a really cool image there. So, yeah, I mean, he was, he gets tapped on his shoulder by the sentry. I'll mail you one from the canal zone. Martian, that is. Why am I running? I got the ultimate weapon. No. Home movies. He's like, while he's utterly at my mercy, Captain Marvel must strike. He's clicking all stuff up far away while he's watching. So great. And you know what? Home movies are like that, you know? It's like, okay. Issue 10 was already the first reprint in Marvel. To my understanding, the Marvel Silver Age history, although there is one other book I can't recall that had a reprint in it. So this was just one big reprint issue. And they were trying to dig into stuff more than superheroes. They were doing, movies, parodies, and just it really got thinned out. I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff, but it was also just, that's so silly. But it's silly in a fun way. But I tell you what, when Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band came out, oh my God, there would be like 5 references to them and the Beatles on in each story, pretty much. It was just ridiculous. So now we got Dr. Deranged, and inked by Sam Granger. I'm gonna have to look him up. He's done pencil work in the '60s for small publishers, and he became a really good inker. He's doing all these crazy Neil Adams panels. And there's Dead Man. I can't remember what his real name is. Deadpan. Okay, there. And there's the Spookster instead of the Spectre. But in the name of Sinatra the Supreme, couldn't you have just put up a low-budget curse on me instead? So, anyway. He ends up in hell. Everybody laugh, he ends up in hell. Now, this is from the first Daredevil annual, which came out in, I think, 66 or 67. And there's a lot of controversy about what Jack did, what Stan did, when all that. Well, it wasn't all like Stan throws everything at you, or he takes all the credit for everything. Every month, Gene Colan would show up at the Marvel offices with a tape recorder, and he and Stan would hash out that month's issue of Daredevil. And this, he draws it straight. He's got his old... and hold up a sec while I light up, pal. The old ham bone is stalling, but it won't help him now. The plot thickens. So he comes up with this crazy idea. It's like, how do we get him out of there? Oh, don't worry, you'll think of something. And that's it. How in the name of Forbush were we able to save him? Must I always be plagued by details? I'm still waiting. This calls for high-level thinking. Maybe I'll ask my wife. Wait, I'm getting it. Foggy, the man filled with fear. It's so cute. And I remember seeing this. This was actually in the giant-sized Daredevil. It came out in late 75. But, it wasn't like Stan would say, oh, you do this, and I'll give you 2 sentences, and you do it. A lot of times, he would actually talk to people. I think Jack Kirby was the exception after maybe a year or two, because he was running on autopilot, much like Steve Ditko was. And you'll see in those issues of Steve Ditko that he got credit for plotting and art, and in the last 12 issues of a series. And this could be the end. I'm sure he might have done stuff for which came out in the late 80s, early 90s, what I really enjoy. But here's a treat for you. It's probably really affordable. Treehouse of Horror, for many, many years, annual, comes out, has different creators, different collaborators. And here's Gene Colan with Marv Wolfman reteaming with a Tomb of Dracula spinoff. And it's illustrated by Gene Colan, and it's colored by Nathan Kane and Nathan Hamill. So there's no pencils, no inks involved. But there's some beautiful halftones here. So you got Smithers and, all this stuff going on. I love it. Mr. Burns and Smithers. It's beautiful art. Look at that. And the repro is great. I'd mentioned in Nathaniel Dusk that the first series was horrible, but then the second one was great. Lisa Van Helsing, deadly as she's beautiful. Excuse me, LeBlade, I think that was my line. Santa's little killer, all bite no bark. Bart Drake, Dracula, third cousin twice removed. And Homer. They don't say anything about Homer, but he's eating donuts. He's in a wheelchair, just like the main protagonist in the Tomb of Dracula series of the 70s. And it's just so cool to see three-dimensional versions of The Simpsons. Wow. Lisa has a crossbow. I look at her hair too. It's usually just poke out, but he makes it like a pineapple. It's like, I'm only one small girl. Unfortunately, I have an endless supply of garlic-tipped arrows and pinpoint precision aim. Ha! Got you, and you, and you. Okay, zoom. Then we'll fight them to our deaths. Don't you mean till their deaths, dude? That's so tremendously fun. Oh, here comes Homer smashing through with his donut, ever-present donut. And it's using that wild storytelling that when Neil Adams first came out with like crooked panels and stuff like that, Gene Colan pretty much stayed with it all those years. You know, that just really gave him more chance to be more expressive. Like, there's no such silly thing as monsters. And, no, I would rekindle too much pain. It's time, Marge Simpson, for you to go to hell. Drat, I knew I should never have brought this cheap Korean lantern. So, she's being roasted. And Lisa's taking him down. Ha, that's using her head. It goes on. I love it. They devote so much time to it. Here's a great panel here. Where Homer's, his chair is on fire, I think it is. But so much going on. And then there's Maggie flying around. That's all, folks. And I'd show you the bragging rights on it, but I'm going to do that in another episode. So I hope you like this. It was a lot of fun, and a little something different. And tell your friends, spread the word. Please hit like and subscribe, and also if you hit the bell for notifications, you'll know when my next video is coming up. Or please share with a friend. If you got a comic book fiend friend like myself or others, please share it. They might get a kick out of it. I take no advertising, as I've said before. Nothing against it. It's just I don't want to deal with all the hassle, and also I don't want to be demonetized. If I'm not monetized, they can't demonetize me. Also, leave comments below. Leave plenty of comments, even if they disagree with my opinion. I never delete anything. I keep everything. This is fun. Comics. It's comics. There's no agenda. There's no name calling and stuff like that. I'm not bashing other creators and stuff. I just think I want this channel to be an oasis to hardcore comic fans who might not know some of these things, and if they do know some of them, will enjoy revisiting them. That's all, and you have a great night.